first started going to the mall, I was so young. It was the 70s. I really loved the mall back when I was a kid. It's the only place I could go to get away from my parents.
You know, North Cross Mall used to be the hangout. Everybody would go there and they would cruise. All the teenagers in town would cruise. And there was a big deal in the paper in Austin, American Statesman about a lot of LSD being done there. And that was true. There was a lot of that going on. There was a lot of kids tripping, and a lot of people going to the movie theaters, to the midnighters. And it was a whole scene. And it was where the youth of Austin would all go and congregate at that mall.
Be dropped off.
And be dropped off, and they'd cruise a circle. And then there was that redneck who stabbed that other redneck behind the Krispy Kreme, and that was the end of the cruising. About 83, they put up a chain and stopped people from going around in the circle. So that was pretty much the end of it. But it was really still a hangout until about 86.
Last time I was here was 3.5 years ago. As children, our families dropped us off here, and
you know, from 1980 to about 83, it was just the place to be if you were a kid in this town. It was the only place to go. And, you know, you could go ice skating, you go to the movies, or you could just hang out and pick up chicks.
I remember taking girls back there and making out with them. The Guitar Center. As a child, this was where rednecks congregated. They would get up in a parking lot and pretty much drink all night. For us, we were younger. Security guards would take our beers, pour them out in front of us. So Bell's is closed with an asbestos danger in it. Maybe they're trying to give people a reason to shut them all down. Why wouldn't it have had that on it while it was open? I remember when people were pissed off at the speed bumps. Now they're just pissed off.
But it rejuvenated itself, and the ice rink always brought in business, and the movie theater brought in business, and then they got this bad manager in there who basically decided that he would get rid of the ice rink and put in arena football, which was a full move, and get rid of the movie theater, which brought people to drop their children off so they could go shop. And so once that was gone, there was really no reason to go there, so it just became a ghost town. And so it's like they've purposely undermined its ability to do business and to prosper, so that they could knock this thing down eventually and sell it and put in a 3-story Walmart that nobody wants.
I'm going over there. I'm gonna check it out.
Say your goodbyes to it, huh?
Watch the death.
I'm gonna go ice skating a few more times, I think, before they close it down, at least once.
But you'll be able to ice skate there later. They're gonna put in an Olympic rink.
Yeah, right.
This is North Cross Mall, where everyone used to come to ice skate, learn social interactions with others, dating mostly, play video games, all the things that children need to do. This place, the first vehicle I ever drove was the mall security truck.
No.
One of my buddies was a security guard here. Yeah, and he also had been in my family's church. And so me and him, we cruise around late at night and screw with the rednecks, and you know, it's like,
cool.
Hey, get out of here! We're calling the police. You know, like, oh, it was fun. You know,
I totally understand.
we used to get up on top, run around. You know, oh yeah. This is the first place I ever kissed a girl. Looking back, I didn't realize how much emphasis was put on that moment. how much I thought it would change me, or how much it did. Here we are. The fountain in me. But our life goes on and things fall apart. But I still reminisce of all the things and all the people I knew. I remember this water fountain. Such better days. I threw pennies in this with my parents. I threw pennies in this with my ex-girlfriends. I don't think any of those wishes came true. It's the first time I've ever stood here. I guess it'll be the last. I guess this is where Walmart's tool section will be.
So it's quality of life. And Walmart promotes a low quality of life. Their products are weak and they break and they're deficient in quality. So, you know, we're trading what? We're trading quantity for quality.
Have it now, have it cheap, throw it away tomorrow.
When you trade quantity for quality, you trade your dignity. Nobody wants this that lives here. That's the problem. And the businesses don't want it. The businesses are already starting to clear out. The ones who are out of their leases are starting to leave. And it's going to be a ghost town over here, and it's going to be just a bunch of empty buildings, and a bunch of hoodlums will be painting on the sides of them and living in them and everything else, squatting. And it's just going to turn into a slum over here. Another Walmart slum, brought to you by, what is it? Whatever, who of the Walmart family is. A bunch of losers.
Waldens.
Yeah.
Howdy. Wow, this is one dead food court. It's completely void of life or food. They kept the same chairs from the 70s. Surprised they held up. I used to love to come here and get a beer and a slice of pizza and reminisce. Well, years ago, they did away with smoking cigarettes in the mall. Then they did away with beer. Then they did away with pizza. How can you have a place this large and nowhere to eat? I guess that's a sign of why this mall is dying. No one cares. The children care. They're still here playing. I hope the children keep playing somewhere. Life goes on. There used to be a beautiful girl here. She used to always give me free cookies when I was really, really stoned. We would grab at it like hungry beasts. I remember one time it never even made it to the table. It's just a group of young people walking off with chunks of cookie. No more chocolate chunk. No more snickerdoodle.
You know, they started off American made and now they sell nothing but Chinese products. What happened to this buy American? They're not buying American, and every penny you give them, they take out of this community. They don't leave anything here. For every penny, for every dollar you spend at Walmart, this city gets like 10 cents, and that's it. The rest of the money's gone. Where are they in community building? They're not. They don't give a damn about the community. All they're here to do is take the money out of the community and destroy the community. That's all they want to do. So, you know, they need to change their business plan. They need to go back to buying American. And if they would do that, I would be in more support for them. I still don't want them I still don't want them at Northcross because I think it's a bad place.
One of the last times that I skated, I came out here and they had just switched the bus stop to being over here. And there was all these people from the state hospital sitting on benches and bumming cigarettes, and they were outpatients. They were allowed to go out. It was just one more thing the small didn't need. The next thing you know, less and less people came. The security guard's got his eye on me. Just like old times. Place is almost shut down and I can still get thrown out of here. I'll never forget the time I gave the mall manager a dead rat just to let her know that there are really big rats living in the food court. Well, she didn't take it too well. I was banned for a whole summer. Yep, he's got his binoculars looking at me, checking me out. Just like old times.
You're going to have crime issues everywhere they go. There's more crime. There's lower income people that come in, unfortunately, you know, because they have to shop at Walmart. They can't shop at Central Market. They can't afford to. So they shop at Walmart. Well, that's nice that they can afford things, you know, that they couldn't afford otherwise. But the bottom line is Americans are going to have to pay more for their products so that they're American made, or they're going to be placed in service industries and done out of business. And so the bottom line is Americans either have to step up to the plate and pay a little bit more for their stuff to be American made, or they can just forget their country and sell it to the Chinese, because that's what we're doing. Bottom line.
Oh, can't get any candy. Bill's was one of those places that you go to shop with your mom and she would stick you in a velour shirt when you were still too young and fat to look very good in something like that. But I remember as a child going into Bell's and hiding in the racks. I guess the best thing about this place was my youth. So strange in Russia during the communist rule. People knew what it was like to be held together by each other. They all had to wait in lines for bread. The most of what they did was wait. So they had to learn patience. And in those lines, they learned more about each other than these people do. And they get into a fast food service line that's a mile long of cars and sit there with their motors running, their cell phones gabbing, not seeing any of the people that are actually really close to them, near them. I guess that's one of the things that this place taught me, was how important it is to get to know others. When people hold themselves up and burden themselves with being rushed, they let all that go. I guess I'm going to let this place go. Let it go on to where it's going, being what it's going to be. Another big slab of concrete bites it.